Hey everyone, this is Professor Bapu, your personal guide to Civilization 6. I boiled down all the complex intricacies of this massive game down to what you absolutely need to know in order to win. So today we're doing a tutorial for just walking through the basic mechanics for getting 3 of the victory types. So I'm going to be playing as Gandhi today, and I'm going to show the basic mechanics for domination, religious, and culture victory. I'm not going to go into science today because it's a bit longer and I want this to be a relatively quick game, so let's just get started. So starting off the game, we have a settler unit as well as a warrior unit. And so the settler is able to found cities, and the warrior is a military unit that allows for you to fight against your enemies. So the little city icon right there allows you to found a city, and the little icon in the bottom right corner allows you to choose your next action. So what I think we're going to do first is we're going to choose to build a scout. So a scout is actually part of a promotion class. This is the recon promotion class, and as you can see for the description, it says it's a fast-moving ancient era recon unit. So there are different types of military units that fall into different promotion classes, and the units within these classes receive a unique set of promotions and have strengths and weaknesses. So we see that the scout has a melee strength of 10 and a movement of 3. So melee strength is used in the calculations for when units are fighting head-to-head, and movement determines how many tiles a unit can move per turn. So we also see that it has a production cost of 30, and so we see, if we go back to the city view, that the city is actually producing 6.2 production per turn, and since the scout costs 30 production, as you can see, the 5 next to the clock tells you how many turns of production it's going to take in order to produce this scout unit. So 30 divided by 6.2 leaves us with 5 turns in order to finish production on the scout. Okay, so the next thing for me to do is to choose my research. So what I can do is I can open the technology tree, and you see that pottery, animal husbandry, and mining take 9 turns, and sailing, irrigation, writing, and archery take 18 turns, but astrology only takes 9 turns, and it has a little blue line that says boosted. And so what that means is, because I have found a natural wonder, it actually is giving me a portion of the science that's necessary in order to research that technology, so I can research it a lot faster. So as you can see, astrology costs 50 science, but it's still only going to take me 9 turns, even though I'm only making 2.8 science per turn, because 25 science out of the 50 has already been given to me through boosting it by finding a natural wonder. So this is going to give me the ability to build holy sites as well as shrines. So the last thing for me to do is to move my warrior. So one thing you might notice is that although I have 2 movement, it costs 2 movement to move to that tile, and that's because that tile is rainforest, and so it's considered rough terrain. So if a unit moves through rough terrain, it's going to eat additional movement. So one example of rough terrain would be the rainforest, another example would be woods, and it also eats an extra movement point to cross rivers as well. I have found a city-state. So there are civilizations of the game that are considered city-states, which are, they're not full civilizations. They consist of only one city, and they are color-coded. So the blue city-states are for science, the purple city-states are for culture, the yellow city-states are for trade, and the orange city-states are for production towards buildings, and the red city-states are for production towards units. So all blue city states are going to have the same bonuses at the top, where one envoy is going to get science as my capital as well as library buildings. 3 is going to get me science for universities, and 6 is going to get me science for research labs. But Taruga has a unique bonus. Each city state also has a bonus that's unique only to them, and for Taruga I will get plus 5% science in all cities for each strategic resource. There are also quests you can complete in order to get envoys, which give you more and more influence within a city-state. Okay, so now it looks like my scout is finished. So the unit right there, that's an enemy scout. It's considered what's considered a barbarian. So now that I've finished a scout, I'm now going to build a slinger. So a slinger is another military unit, but it's part of the ranged promotion class. So it has a lower melee strength than the scout, so it's 5 down from 10, but it also has the option for a range attack. So it has a range strength of 15 and a range of 1. So this will allow the slinger to attack another unit without it being able to do a counterattack. So the movement is 2 down from 3, and the cost is 35 up 5 from the scout. So while the slinger might be able to do more damage on the initial attack, if a scout is losing the battle, it can escape with its higher movement. So it looks like I am already finished researching the astrology technology, and I have found a barbarian outpost. So if I am able to take out the barbarian outpost, they will not be able to create more units to attack me, and I'll also get a bit of gold for taking them out. Okay, now that I have astrology, I think I do want animal husbandry now, so I will be able to create a pasture around those horses. And rather than having the scout fight those barbarians, I'm actually going to have them explore a bit more. And I'm going to send my warriors over there to fight and take out those barbarians. And now that my slinger's done, I'm going to send my slinger over there to attack them as well. So finally, I'm going to create another warrior unit. So warriors are part of the melee promotion class. So they have a melee strength of 20, which is double that of the scout, movement of 2, which is the same as the slinger, and it does not have a ranged attack. So as you can see, there's a bit of an equilibrium between the 3 units that I have available right now. So the warrior has the highest melee strength, but it does not have a ranged attack, and it has lower movement than the scout. So in a head-to-head fight, the warrior would win. In a ranged attack, the slinger would get the advantage, but it is at the risk of being taken out by a counterattack from the warrior, and the scout, if losing a fight, could simply run away. So that down there is what's called a tribal village. They give you a bunch of little bonuses, and it's just random. You don't really know what you're going to get, but it's always going to be relatively good. Okay, so it just gave me a bit of gold, which is good for purchasing a variety of things. And now I've finished researching animal husbandry. Okay. And so it looks like this tribal village gave me another scout, which is going to help me explore a bit faster. Okay, so I finished the Code of Law Civic, which allows me to have my first government. So governments have different policy cards that you can place that will give you a bunch of different bonuses. So the red policy cards are going to help you with military, and the gold policy cards are going to help with your economy and just different things around your empire. And your first government that you can get lets you use one military policy and one economic policy. I think I'm going to go with God King because it's going to help me to get a pantheon a bit faster, which is the first step towards establishing a religion, which I plan to do is Gandhi. The tech tree, the civic tree, allows you to complete different what are called civics. They're basically technologies that you earn through culture. So as you can see, foreign trade costs 40 culture. I generate 1.6 culture per turn, and so it's going to take 24 turns for me to be able to finish the civic. So once I finish foreign trade, I'll be able to create trade routes. Okay, now we can see the little edge of another civilization over there. And now that I have a bunch of military units, I'm actually going to create a settler so I can have another city. And I have another place where I can produce units as well as other things that would be valuable for my empire. So as you can see, a settler allows me to create new cities, and it reduces cities' population by 1. And that's for that reason I wasn't able to create the settler before, because you need to have a population of at least 2 before you can create a settler. Okay, so I got some gold for taking out that barbarian encampment. Okay, and now it looks like I've met Alexander of Macedon. So it doesn't really matter what you say at this point. I guess I'll just be nice. And now I have also boosted the writing technology because I met another civilization. Okay, so you can see that Pella is the capital of Macedon, and you can tell that because it has the star next to the name. So because I want to have some domination aspects, I'm probably going to take over his capital because he's just really close to me. Focus on archery next, because having some archers will be nice, and it also brings me one step closer to getting the Varro. The stepwells would be nice right now, but getting the Varro is going to be a bit more important since I plan on taking over Alexander. Okay, now archer's been boosted as well because that barbarian warrior attacked me, and the slinger was able to take it out. And so you can see before it was 11 turns, and now it's only going to be 5 turns because half the science I needed for that technology was taken care of. Okay, I can just buy a builder, and so now I'm going to be able to build a pasture and boost horseback riding as well. Okay, so the little star icon allows for me to get a promotion. I think I'm actually going to go for the garrison promotion because that's going to give me more strength inside a city, and it's also going to get me closer to the incendiaries promotion. Now, I want to build a holy site because I want to get closer to getting a religion, so this is going to give me faith as well as great profit points, and once I earn a great profit, then I will be able to found a religion. So it looks like right now no one has any great profit points. So one thing to look at when you are founding another city is to make sure you go to options, map options, and make sure you have turn on map icons. Ideally, you want to find a city that gives you 2 food and 2 production. So food is indicated by the corn icons, and production is indicated by the gear icons. So we have a tile over there that's going to give us 2 food and 2 production, which is great. There's another tile that's going to give us 3 food and 2 production, which is even better. So having a city right there where that city icon is actually going to be a pretty good city. So now that I have a range of 2, I can attack from a lot further back and deal a lot of damage, which is quite nice. It's really useful to have archers early out in the game. And now Alexander is a bit displeased with me. All the computers in the game have what are called agendas, and they kind of tell you what it is by speaking in code. So what he was basically saying is that he's mad that I'm not at war with people, but I don't really care that much about making him happy because I'm about to go to war with him anyway. Okay, trade route is going to give me extra food as well as extra production in the city, so it's going to help me increase my population faster, as well as allowing me to finish building things faster. I could create trade route with Pella to get some extra gold and also a road into Pella, which would be useful if I invade them, but I think it's more important to get the city up and running. And by sending my first trade route, I've also boosted currency. Okay, now I can choose what's called a pantheon, which is the first step towards founding a religion. And there's a number of different choices, but I think I'm actually going to go with God of the Forge, which is going to help me build my Varro faster because I want to take out Alexander pretty quickly. Another good idea is City Patron Goddess, which is to build districts faster, but I think building my Varro faster is my top priority right now.